Hello, Upper East Siders. You know you love me.
Anytime the OG Gossip Girl cast is in the news for something, it warms my heart because I love them all so much. But this is a really interesting article that I read. Penn Badgley says his relationship with Blake Lively saved him. All of them is dead in Serena, obviously, but they dated from 2007. Well, TBD on their start date, till 2010. But Penn says in an interview with Variety that his former relationship with Lively, whom he was romantically involved with for 3 years during their time on Gossip Girl, helped him.
What was it like to film a wedding scene with an ex? Was that weird?
I'm still processing it. No.
4 years, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been seen as the gold standard of Hollywood couples. They're funny, charming, and their chemistry seems straight out of a romantic comedy. Whether they're playfully roasting each other on social media or showing up hand-in-hand at red carpet events, fans have fallen in love with their love.
A surfacing interview from the Glamour 2009 magazine that Blake Lively was in, talking about how she poisoned the cast against her now ex-boyfriend that she left for Ryan Reynolds, Penn Badgley.
I can fake empathy pretty well, you know?
I am his home, and our girls are his home. And just like that 19-year-old boy, he races home. Whether it's from across the globe or a meeting across the street, he is hardwired to get home. If he came home from set not in his wardrobe, we would be very concerned. Soaked in mud, fake blood, real blood, prosthetic scars, superhero suits, tap shoes, or clown makeup, Daddy always comes home. And that man races back to his real life like nothing I have ever seen. Especially not by someone who's able to be so all in his work life. He's able to somehow be everything to everyone all at once. He is the most present person you will ever meet. And yes, he creates magic in his work. But man, oh man, does he create magic in his real life. Home is where his heart is, which is why he gives so much of his heart back to his home.
But what if everything we've believed about them is just a carefully crafted illusion? What if their picture-perfect marriage isn't as perfect as it seems? Blake's former Gossip Girl co-star and ex-boyfriend, Penn Badgley, just dropped a bombshell that has fans and insiders buzzing. His words sparked a wave of speculation about what might really be going on behind closed doors.
Both Blake and Penn were also on The View in 2007, I believe. She denied the rumors about her and Leighton not being friends, being more like frenemies like their characters on The Gossip Girl. Even though Blake has been seen in some interviews not being the nicest to her co-stars and making fun of Leighton's upbringing.
Recently saying that Leighton and I were frenemies. And it's
frenemies. Is that the new term? Frenemies?
Yeah, we're friends, but we're also enemies. And it's they see our characters on the show, and they want that to be true in a sense. I think they want everybody's characters in real life to emulate that. And it's really strange because they always want to pit women against each other. You don't hear about like Penn and Chase hating each other and being jealous and competitive. So it's very silly. But you know, we all do get along very well, and it's upsetting that they have to do that to try to sell magazines. There's enough gossip on the show, just watch that.
So now the big question is Blake and Ryan's marriage the real deal or just another example of Hollywood trying to sell us a fantasy? Let's break it down.
In the finale of Gossip Girl, it was revealed that the very lovely Kristen Bell was lending her voice to my character, to Dan Humphrey, who is the real Gossip Girl. Sorry, spoiler alert. I thought I would repay the favor. I'm going to put a little narrative spin on Kristen's show.
Now, Penn Badgley isn't the kind of celebrity who looks for drama. He tends to stay out of the spotlight and focus on his work. But in a recent episode of his podcast, Podcrushed, he made a comment that stopped everyone in their tracks.
You're in a lifeboat. You can only bring 3 of your co-stars on it with you. Who are they?
From the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so divisive. I'll take 3.
Yeah.
Blake, Chase, and Ed.
Blake, okay. Who's a better singer, Leighton Meester or Taylor Momsen?
That interview was from 2016. I wonder what Penn would say now in 2025. One of those members would be left to swim up the river themselves. Oh, and P.S. Not that this means anything, but Penn Badgley does follow Justin Baldoni on Instagram. And not his ex Blake Lively.
He was asked about on-set romances and how real Hollywood relationships actually are. Penn replied, "Some of the most stable marriages you see are performances. And when you've worked closely with someone, you see the script. That alone raised eyebrows. But when the host asked if he was talking about Blake Lively, Penn just smirked and said, "I'll let you read between the lines."
Every single interview this woman has done, she has admitted to her wrongdoings and thinks it's okay. She thinks it's fine, enough that they can publish it in a magazine for millions to read. Now, if you remember, Penn Badgley and Blake Lively dated from 2007 to 2010, and this interview was actually in 2009, so 2 years after they started dating. She was comfortable enough to say this about him after they had been dating for 2 years. If I was him, would be pissed when I heard this. She said in the interview that she was so upset when they cast him that she turned the whole cast against him, saying, "I was first upset that they hired him. I actually poisoned the whole cast against him, but then they noticed that he wasn't a jerk and was actually a really nice, charming person. Almost immediately, I realized that too, but it took me about a week to admit it."
And with that, the internet exploded. Fans immediately started rewatching old interviews, analyzing their body language in public, and even questioning their famously witty social media banter. Could it be that Blake and Ryan's sweet, playful love story is just one big PR campaign?
Between February and March of 2023, Justin and Ryan are having a lot of friendly text messages. Justin reaches out to Ryan to let him know that he got his number through Blake and he just really wanted to reach out and say hello. Justin basically explains to Ryan what a big fan he's been of both Ryan and Blake's work and that he's just a supporter from afar. But the text message that stands out to me is this one over here, which is a little blurry, and I'm just gonna read it to you guys. This one's from Ryan. "What a loving and generous message. Thank you. We're both looking forward to getting to know you and your family better. We're also big fans over here. Since before we met and more so after. You've been a wonderful collaborator with B, and that means a great deal to both of us. Being a stand-up person is everything, and you've been just that since day one. Thank you. You hit the jackpot with B. She literally passes on every film and every filmmaker." I don't know about that. "One thing I know, and I speak from deep wellsprung of experience here, having her in your court behind the scenes as a creative is invaluable, and I'm certain she would say the same."
There are now theories that their marriage is less about love and more about branding. Both of them have thriving careers, and as a couple, they're a powerhouse. Their fun, light-hearted relationship has made them more marketable than ever, and some believe it's all part of a long-term strategy.
Is that Ryan Reynolds filed his motion to dismiss himself from the lawsuit, which is basically saying, "Your Honor, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Please allow me to exit the room." So for example, they said, "So what does Ryan Reynolds have to do with that? Legally speaking, other than being a supportive spouse who witnessed the first-hand emotional and financial devastation Miss Lively has suffered? Nothing." They bolded it. Mr. Reynolds is a defendant in this action for one reason and one reason only, because billionaire Steve Sarowitz promised to spend $100 million to ruin Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds' life.
Just think about how often we see these two in public, always sharing a laugh or a sweet moment, right when they need to promote a movie or launch a project. Their social media exchanges? Hilarious, yes, but also perfectly timed to keep their names trending. In an industry that lives and breathes image, a seemingly perfect couple is a goldmine.
As I said before, the times I've interviewed Ryan Reynolds, he's always been super nice, very friendly, and you know, that's the most of my colleagues, reporter colleagues, always thought Ryan Reynolds was a good guy. Now we learn new things about him and we're all sitting there like, oh my God, we were all fools.
But is it all for show? That's the question now being asked all across Hollywood. Even Blake's famous inner circle may be dropping hints. Around the same time this controversy broke, her close friend Taylor Swift performed The Archer, a song about struggling with perception and feeling trapped by a perfect image. Coincidence? Or was Taylor trying to say something?
Well, I'm lucky to have good friends who make time for me. Like, they know me and they know that I bite off more than I can chew and I have 4,000 children. And, you know, they're like, I need to come to her. Like, her apartment is the vortex and it is a black hole, and I will come to her to see her. All of my friendships in my life are people who build me up to my best, highest self. When I'm feeling good or when I'm feeling down, they're always reminding me of who I am, and that reminder is always like the most aspirational version of me. I feel like they're people who are direct. They're people who will be hard on me when they're like, hey, here's where I see you struggle. And then they also give me the grace to do that for them. Yeah, I think it's just about surrounding yourself with people who genuinely want to see you soar, and surrounding yourself with people who you genuinely want to see soar.
Then there was supermodel Gigi Hadid, another one of Blake's longtime friends. She posted a cryptic Instagram story that read, "Loyalty isn't about standing by someone when things are easy. It's about standing by them when things are complicated." Fans immediately took that as a subtle sign that Blake might be dealing with some serious stress behind the scenes.
Can we get the lights on? Can we just get the house lights on because I want to be able to...
Hello, Hugh. It's Ryan. I have been lucky enough to have... He's my godship for life, right here. I mean it. Thank you, Gus. I'm his second best friend. All right, Gus. Jesus, I'm so sorry. This is just awful. And I just want to, like, I know we were supposed to finish this bit where there's two security gentlemen come and they try to take the mic from me. It's like a struggle, and then they tase me, and I go down, and then they hog tie me, and then they put me in the Radio City music garbage cup, and then they just light it on fire. But I wanted to actually just say, I love this man. I care about this man. He is genuinely the best human being I know. And I have 4 children. He is the best. Enjoy the rest of the show. You owe me $100.
Yeah, I love you, Ryan. I love you, Ryan.
I'm gonna keep them in.
I love you, man. But you like fifth gotcha for life.
And let's not forget Ryan's good friend Hugh Jackman. When asked about the situation during a red carpet interview, he replied, "Ryan's a great guy. I don't get involved in personal matters." But it wasn't what he said, it was how carefully he said it. The hesitation in his voice only added more fuel to the fire.
I had 2 surgeries, but I went to the hospital and I was so excited. I have a lot of like dad jokes. So I went to the hospital and I just like couldn't wait for the doctor to like ask me about my hand. And he's like, "What happened?" And I said, "I got in a fight." Which, like, you know, he didn't know it was a movie. And he goes, "Oh, really?" And I go, "Yeah, you should see the other guy." And like, I've always wanted to do that.
Oh my god.
But then,
the
doctor's like, "Oh, where is he in the other room or is he on stand?" And I was like, "No, it's the you should see the
joke. You should see the other guy.
Yeah,
if I look like this,
like,
you should see the
the joke just totally like crashed. So it was useless.
At this point, social media is filled with theories. Some people think their marriage is simply a business partnership, a way to stay relevant and expand their reach. Others believe there might be deeper issues like infidelity or a decision to stay together only for their brand and their kids. It wouldn't be the first time Hollywood has sold the public a carefully polished story while hiding a crumbling relationship behind the scenes.
New York Times, I want people to understand, doesn't just report stories. They build narratives. And when they decide that you're the villain, they really don't care about the facts. They care about the clicks.
Of course, we also have to consider that Penn and Blake used to date. So, was Penn being honest or just a little bitter? Maybe his comment wasn't a full-blown expose, but a subtle dig at someone from his past. Some fans think he was less interested in exposing the truth and more interested in stirring the pot.
What was it like to film a wedding scene with an ex? Was that weird?
I'm still processing it. No, you know what's funny? I don't really know what, in terms of it being awkward. I mean, like, I sure don't think it was awkward for anybody. Like, I think, yeah, I mean, so from my memory, I'm pretty sure we were exes for nearly half of the entire run of the series, you know? That's like, it lasted for nearly 6 years, and I don't think we were together longer than 2, something like that. So yeah, I mean, we went through, you know, it was actually, we always were very professional. We had to do all kinds of nutso stuff.
And then there's the silence. Blake and Ryan are usually quick to clap back at rumors with a joke or a clever post. But this time, nothing. Blake even limited comments on some of her Instagram posts. Meanwhile, Ryan hasn't posted a single tweet about it. That silence is unusual, and in Hollywood, silence sometimes says more than 1,000 words.
One of you guys actually sent me this video with Alanis Morissette, who used to date Ryan Reynolds. They were actually engaged. They dated from 2002 to 2007. And apparently, according to her, she wrote a whole album almost about him. To get over the pain, it was a horrible breakup. So not too long ago, this interview that Alanis Morissette did with Howard Stern resurfaced, and she talks about how painful her breakup was.
He's a nobody. No, really, I mean, who is he? I didn't know anything about it. When you were in love with him, I didn't like it. I thought the guy was a douchebag.
Well, you know Howard Stern, so he's really trying to dig in there and get her to talk about how horrible the breakup was.
Yeah, you were engaged.
I was.
So what, he comes home and announces he's with another broad? No. How does that all work?
I don't know if she admitted, but it seemed like, you know, that he started a relationship with Scarlett Johansson before the relationship with her had ended.
My experience with narcissism, I was the supply for them. I was there as an appendage or a server or a servant to their agenda.
These are people who are really good at putting out this incredibly sort of, if they want to be warm and empathic, they can be warm and empathic.
They can fake it.
They can fake it.
And there I was 13 years later going, oh my God, the empathy was fake.
You know, I can fake empathy pretty well. You know, I could pretend.
This story is far from over. Blake and Ryan don't speak up soon, speculation will only grow. Fans are already watching their every move, looking for signs of tension or cracks in their happy image. Meanwhile, Penn's comment has put him in the hot seat too. Was he being honest? Or did he just start a wildfire for no reason?
Penn says in an interview with Variety that his former relationship with Lively, whom he was romantically involved with for 3 years during their time on Gossip Girl, helped him. Quote, beyond our relationship, I don't think anybody was going to be interested in me publicly. The fame that came their way was massive, the actor said, and views that time in his 20s as both, quote, fun and fast-paced, while also having a, quote, dark undercurrent that would bottom out in my later 20s. When asked to clarify, PennBadgley said, quote, to be honest, I never struggled with substance. He said, Blake didn't drink, and I think our relationship in some ways saved me from being forced to go down that road. Badgley, who is currently starring in the hit Netflix series You, married singer-actress Domino Kirk. In 2017, Lively has been married to actor Ryan Reynolds since 2012. Of course, we all know Blake has her company Betty Buzz, which is a non-alcoholic mixer, so this all tracks. Honestly, as somebody who doesn't really drink either, that's why we got that glow.
Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure. This controversy has changed how people see Blake and Ryan. Next time they walk a red carpet or post something funny online, you can bet the world will be watching just a little more closely, wondering if it's real or just another Hollywood illusion.
Ryan Reynolds admits that he made his daughter, who was then 7, her name is Inez, made her say really inappropriate things. And now people are like, oh my God, what kind of parents are they to do this to their daughter? And I have to say, I am pretty shocked myself.
So what do you think? Did Penn Badgley expose a hidden truth? Or is this just another round of celebrity gossip spinning out of control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest mysteries. Because in this town, nothing is ever as perfect as it seems.